Well, that was the end of SmackDown. SmackDown, in my opinion, ended like a WCW pay-per-view back in the late 90s with just all the hope of just having a damn good show, and then the main event comes out and just stinks it up. People are going to be talking probably the most about the Cena pipe bomb. Something honestly that I thought might happen if they, looked in the history book and saw the John Cena versus R-Truth match that led to the pipe bomb that night in UNLV in Las Vegas back in 2011 before Money in the Bank. They just basically redid it. And I was giddy. I thought it was really cool. The first few lines of Cena delivering them like an actor, talking about Punk laying there in the ring, in the table. Dude, that guy was like laid out in that table like he was dead. What the hell was going on there? The end of that show with him doing the Cena pipe bomb was probably like the end of a house show when they want to send everybody happy, or like Monday Night Raw once it all ends. Remember that horrible DVD set that they came out with that probably had a great idea, but then like once it just was like put out, it was like, this is just a bunch of crap. But I think it was like Raw after the show ends or something. It was called something like that. But R-Truth versus John Cena, they went at it. Truth gave it to Cena a lot like the first match, but in a different way. He was like more ruthless, I guess you can say, in his attack. And Cena at one point just had enough. And I don't even know if this match was a championship match or not, but Cena just grabbed his belt and said, "I'm going home." And R-Truth ran after him, trying to bring him back down to the ring. And Cena just clocked him right in the head, laid him out in the aisle. And they called for the bell. Disqualification. The people of Grand Rapids, the people there in Michigan, I don't know why they have that nice arena there. I don't know if they got like a WNBA team that plays there or something like that, or some like hockey or something like that. But they were there. They were in full force. They were there to see Cena. They were cheering on his every word at the end of the match. When he said Grand Rapids, they popped for him. And I don't know. I mean, this was a really, really good SmackDown. Lots to build on. Probably my favorite thing was with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And then, Solo Sikoa taking the first shot, trying to hit Jacob. And then, Jacob catching it. And then, of course, Jeff Cobb running down, getting involved. And that brings out Jimmy Uso, who I thought was Jey Uso. Why was Jimmy hobbling like that all the way down to the ring? I thought that Jay was coming down to set up his whole storyline about getting involved in fights that aren't even his fights, and getting beat up and going into the match with Cody, not at full force. But if that was Jimmy, I can't even remember the last Jimmy match. He showed up on SmackDown every once in a while. People thought he was going to be like in the United States title hunt at WrestleMania. People thought that he might, get some sort of a singles push, with the Money in the Bank. Didn't qualify. I'm not quite sure. The Alexa Bliss and Charlotte storyline continues. Alexa Bliss lost her match to Asuka, but when Charlotte was getting jumped by the Chelsea Green bunch, we had Alexa Bliss come down, help out Charlotte. And then Charlotte just basically didn't act like that Bliss was there. Just walked right out, walked right by her, like she didn't want her help or need her help. She would have took a beating. It was going to be 3-on-1 inside of that ring with Chelsea, Fry, and what the heck's the other one's name? The big gal. They were going to put a hurting on her, but she was able to come down there and even the odds. Orton punches his ticket. He moves on in the whole tournament for the King of the Ring. He's going to fight the winner of Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. I think it's going to be Cody. It was a really, really good SmackDown. But that DQ ending put a really, really bad taste in my mouth. And the whole thing with Punk, like, it seemed like it would have been fun, but it just went on and on and on. And, you know, the shout-outs to Claudio Castagnoli, the shout-outs to Matt Cardona, Nick Nemeth. I thought they were awesome. I thought they were funny. But I don't know, man. But it was fun to see Cena, even in a match like that. I know it used to be the opposite, and he would be the guy getting disqualified. No, he was disqualified. He would be the guy getting the disqualification win, and the heel would be bailing on him. I think that's why people don't like the heel turn that much. But hey, it is what it is. We fight to see another day. Monday's going to be a big Raw. Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. Jade Cargill against Roxanne. And I'm sure Punk's going to be there and have something to say about what went down tonight. So, all right, everybody. See you later. Peace out.